So moving on, I gotta go put my bike up because I went on a nice early morning ride. I absolutely love that. Whoa, almost fell off this thing. Morning, folks. It's just a beautiful Sunday morning here. We've just accomplished our daughter's five-year-old birthday party. We had a big bounce house out here, and we had all the whole 9 yards, man. We're finished with that. That was a blast. I love doing stuff like that. It's a lot of work. It's a whole lot of work for just 3 hours of time, but thanks for everybody coming. It was a really, really good time. I enjoyed it. So now it's back to work. I finished up a pretty good little bike ride this morning, and I told myself I'm not stopping to ask about any more cars. I'm not going to buy anything else. And I can't kid myself. I can't lie. I found something I really liked this morning, and what I did is I got up, I got my stuff on, done some stretching, and I took off. I didn't even look at what time it was or nothing. Well, the sun comes up about 6:20, 6:30, and I didn't look at my phone, didn't look at the time. I just took off riding, and I found this pickup this morning. Well, it's not a good idea to knock on people's doors at 6:30 in the morning, so I'm gonna go back and inquire about this truck. I'll tell you it's a truck, but I won't tell you what kind it is. But I'm gonna ask about it and just see. I don't know what I would do with it, but I just, I can't help myself. So, but now what I'm doing today, we got to get that thing ready. We got 1 weekend, and then we're leaving the next Wednesday or Thursday night to go down to Mandeville, Louisiana. So honestly, it's ready to go. This thing runs good. We just drove it up to Grand Lake, about 100 miles away from here, and camped in it, went fishing and stuff. But you see those little marker lights? Wait a minute. Right there, and I got one on the back. Well, I've started switching them out for LEDs just to lighten up the loader. And my other problem is I put these Bora spacers on the back because I couldn't get gear vendors in time for when I drove this to Florida. So I couldn't get it. So I decided I will go with a taller tire. So I went from a 225 to a 245 tire and put the spacers on it. Well, I kind of went overboard on the spacer, and what it is as this body rocks, the tire will rub in here, and the suspension's kind of wore out. Well, I was looking at leaf springs. I really don't want to do leaf springs, but I'm going to go talk to a guy tomorrow, see if I can get a 2-inch block and a new set of U-bolts. So hopefully I can get that corrected and get the rear end, because it's got that sag to it. If it was a 55 Chevy, it'd be perfect. I love that, where the back is lower, a little bit lower than the front. But it's not working very good because it drags the tanks and stuff. And so, yeah, I need a new set of leaf springs, but I'd rather just put blocks on it this time. So I'm gonna pull this thing out and kind of start jacking with it, changing those lights. And hopefully I get the parts to fix that tomorrow. And then I'm gonna start prepping. Man, it's kind of, let me open this door here. I was only out here long enough to get my bike and all my stuff this morning. Sorry about the noise. But as you can see, I've been using this Ford. I think I put about 300 miles on it this last week, and this thing is fantastic, man. We went yard selling in it Friday morning. I've went and made several trips. I drove it. That's all I've drove this last 4 days, man, is this truck. So I put the door panel back on it. It really needs a new set of door panels, but I'm gonna do some more cleaning on it. Man, I don't really need to do anything to it. It just runs and drives so good. I mean, I've already done all the work on it, but I'm hoping I can find that other piece of the fan shroud that broke. I want to glue that back on there. But yeah, I'm gonna get ready. Hopefully here next 3 weeks, 2 weeks or something. I'm gonna put it up on the Purple Wave auction and end up selling it because I got too much stuff to mess with. And really, like, I like this. If it was a Bronco, this would not be going anywhere because I love this full-size body style of Bronco. But man, I just don't have the time to get into it like I need to. And so yeah, I think I'm gonna go ahead and sell it because I want to build the Scout. I've got to figure out some time to get the transmission out of this so I can get that rebuilt. And then I'm going to change the distributor, and then I got to just start doing some rust repair. I've done absolutely nothing on that in the last few weeks and probably won't get any more done on it this next 2 weeks. I really need to lower the front end of this thing. I got to put I've got all new steering components to put on it, and I have not had time to work on it. But we've just had so much stuff to do. I've been working in the house, and it's just hard. But yeah, this Ford's come in handy, man, because my other truck is full of stuff, all the old cabinets and everything. I've got to haul it, make a dump run and dump all that stuff. And yeah, the truck with an open bed is absolutely fantastic to use, and this thing is coming in handy. So whoever ends up with this thing, I think it's going to make you a good truck. It doesn't have hardly much rust on it. It's got a little bit of body damage, but last night I was messing with it, and it's like a little bit of time and you can get the panels pulled out right there. I would probably get another bed for it. I don't like this bed too much. It can be fixed, but it would be easier just to find another bed. But yeah, as far as everything working on it, works pretty good. I'm pretty happy driving it around. My inner redneck is coming out. I really like it. But yeah, let's get this motorhome out. I got to clean it out from the trip when we went fishing, and then start getting my stuff laid out, start putting those LED lights in it. And then I've got to pull a door in the house because I got to put a cat door on our closet. So I'm going to finish that up today, but I've got to get this stuff unloaded. I'm going to pull the motorhome out and all that stuff. So not too much going, but yeah, this will just kind of a video to let you know what I got going on. But yeah, the next one will be, if all goes well, we'll be taking the back wheels off the motorhome, putting those blocks on it, getting it raised up. So let's get started. So yeah, I haven't started this thing in a while. Let's see how good it starts. Oh! Fires right up. Yeah, this is a good runner, man. I don't want to say that too much, but yeah, I put a head unit in. I need to finish putting that in there and wiring the speakers up. I can guarantee you that's not going to get done by the time we take off. Yeah, not a bad rig. We had 54,000 miles on it when I bought it. It has 65.58. And it's got to be right because the speedo track's pretty much dead on. Let's pull this thing out. If you guys haven't seen this thing before, it is a 1979 Class C motorhome on a GM G30 van chassis. It has a 400 small block Chevrolet with a turbo 400 and a 410 rear axle ratio. By far my best purchase and most funnest thing I have. The sense of freedom you get with this is pretty awesome. Yeah, we're going to try to put some blocks on the back, raise it up a couple inches, and then start changing some of these lights out. Which, if anybody's priced those little bitty lights, they're about $7 a piece. I've already got the one to change that one. And then I have a few back here that don't work, so I'll be swapping those out. But yeah, kind of a short list on this thing, but I've definitely got a lot going next week. So, but yeah, you just got to clean it out now and get ready to go get some parts. All right, let's get this thing. I'm gonna back this out. (1974) F100. Okay. Same here. A couple pumps. Turn on the fuel pump, because this does have an electric fuel pump on it. Let's go. All right, we got some of our cars moved around. Here is the big job of the day. We have to take this door and put this little kitty cat door in it. Not too shabby, isn't that cute? That's pretty cool. So yeah, we're gonna put this in our closet door because we have two, I want to say they're new kitty cats, but so yeah, what I'm doing right now, I'm just laying this out, figuring out exactly where this is gonna go. Got that a little bit crooked. Don't tell the wife. But yeah. So yeah, this cat door will get this cut out, put in. Yeah, this video ain't gonna have much car working stuff, but get this cut in. I'm trying to think of what else. Oh, I went in the house, and one of the gifts my daughter got was she got this like painting set or whatever, and she's been out underneath the overhang on the house, and she's been out there painting. And when I rolled up, she had been stepping in that stuff and got it all over her hands, and like, that's totally fine. But she was this close to going in the house and tracking it on that new floor that we just put down. And I was like, ah! So I had to get all that cleaned up and everything. And so yeah, that's where a lot of this stuff goes really slow, because like, you know, while I'm doing something here, my wife's doing something else. The kids are also doing, our daughter's also doing different things. And she doesn't watch too much TV or anything. She's always like pretty hands-on. So she's always messing with stuff. But yeah, she's being a little artiste and making a mess. So that's pretty cool. But yeah, so I'm gonna go ahead and measure this out, clean it up. I'm looking for a straight edge. I don't know what I did with the one I had. Let me see if I can find that. Okay, so they give you this template. It's supposed to be center of the door. I went 1 inch up on each side. It showed that it should be like that, but this is I don't know what you call this, but it's like a perimeter style door with some packing crap inside of it. So you still want the bottom for the structure. So what I'm gonna do, this door is 24 inches wide. Half of 24 is 12. That lines up right on the 1 foot there. So we're gonna center that. I'm gonna make the mark right there. So now we've got to mark to center that. We got the line. And then I'm going to trace this out. It doesn't necessarily have to be too perfect. Like I said, I am not a carpenter. I basically, you heard the saying, fake it till you make it, and that's basically what I do. Try to make it work. And it's worked out for me. But yeah, uh-oh. Got a little squiggly there. So yeah, there it is. So we're gonna cut this area here out. Then this little door will go in just like that. Should be good to go. So I can get the saw out and we'll get started on that. But yeah, I think our house is going to be looking pretty good. I really liked what we've done with the kitchen and all the stuff with that and everything. I'll show you guys a little picture of that. But yeah, man, you gotta do this kind of stuff, man. My wife helps me out a lot with all this kind of stuff. And when they want you to get some stuff done, you need to take some time and do it. It may not seem like a whole lot, but like it means a lot to them. So, and I really enjoy doing this kind of stuff. It's just when you get, and this is all my fault, I have all this stuff to mess with, I get kind of overwhelmed. But man, this stuff's gonna be here whether I get it done or not. So, but yeah, it's kind of cool. You could go in our house and you would not know that like I'm a car guy, because I don't have any car stuff at all in the house. Like, I don't understand bringing all these car parts in there in the nice house and take pictures. I go in there, I don't think about cars. I don't mess with cars. I just don't. I go in there to kind of decompress. I try to leave all that stuff out here. But yeah. But man, the more I drive that Ford, the more I want to keep it, man. That thing is just, it runs so good. And the windows rattle a little bit. It needs some new felt strips in it. But man, that could be such an easy truck to get fixed up. Like, I don't know why I pick the harder projects and get rid of the easy ones. Call me crazy, but I don't know. But yeah, so I'm gonna get this all out. Let's get this cut out. All right, so here's the tools I gathered up. What I'm going to do is I'm gonna drill a hole in the corners here. And the reason I'm doing that is because I'm gonna use this little saw here, and that's gonna have to stick down through the hole. And I might make another relief drill hole up here. That way I can make the corners and make the angle. Now, if somebody's got a better way to do that, and I'm sure there's a better tool to use doing that, but that's the way I do it and everything. So that's what I'm gonna get started on. But now I was thinking about like making another channel, because I'm always doing all kinds of like home repair stuff. Now, I'm not like a master of any of this stuff, but I've worked with so many guys during my 20s and stuff that did, electricians, plumbers and carpenters and stuff. So I've gotten very lucky to be able to like shadow these guys and learn a lot of this stuff that they've showed me, and it's paid in dividends, because like I can do just about everything that I need to do in my household myself, and I'm in the HVAC field. That's what I do for a living. So like I do that kind of stuff. So I've acquired some tools to do that kind of work. So like anything from working on the garage door to putting a plug-in in, to putting in a cat door, like just like putting flooring down. Like, there's been so much work that I should have videoed a lot of that, and I didn't think about it. And I'm thinking about starting like another YouTube channel, and the idea is like kind of do like what some of these guys have done for me. Like, it's hard for me to believe that I'm getting older, and like I still feel like a young kid, but the reality of that is now I'm getting older. But I've learned how to do so many different things, so I thought about I might make like a little, another channel for this kind of stuff. That way, if somebody wants to, because YouTube's got everything, but like if there's somebody that's like, oh man, I always wondered how to like put that light, or how to change the doorknob or whatever, it's I kind of know how to kind of do all that kind of stuff. So like that's what I was going to start with this. Like I was like, man, I'll just video doing this cat door. It's really easy. I can knock it out pretty quick, and like anywhere from just all kinds of stuff, man. Like it literally every day I'm doing something different all the time. So yeah, I think I might do that. If anybody thinks that I should, or if that's a good idea, comment about it. Give me some ideas, because from anywhere from trimming trees, like how to do the right cuts and how to like trim out and prune a tree, and like Matt, he's an arborist. I can get him to like come on my channel, and like we can do chainsaw maintenance, and like I don't know, I'm always thinking of ideas of things to do, and we're always doing stuff. Like we're not sitting around watching TV. We're not doing, like, there's always something. If there's an extra 30 minutes in the day, something can be getting done and all that kind of stuff. So like, yeah, I've been kicking that idea around and everything, because like this is the hobby. These cars are like not my main priority of things I do, but like how to change a bike tire on something, you know what I mean? I got all kinds of different ideas, but yeah, so let's cut this out. But yeah, it's just something I've been kicking around. I think I might do. So, yeah, let's cut this out. And just as a quick disclaimer, don't be stupid, man. God only gives you one set of these bad boys. And I always, like, doesn't matter if I run the saw or whatever, you gotta wear eyeglasses, man, because if you knock these bad boys out, you're not gonna be doing any of this stuff. And then also, I definitely, these probably aren't the best, but I always wear hearing protection with all this stuff because, again, you only get one set of ears, and I like to hear things, so. That's like riding a motorcycle or dirt bike or something with no helmet. It's got to be the most stupid thing I think you can do, or like even especially a street motorcycle. Like, come on, man! Like, you only get one body. You know what I mean? Like, I work at a hospital, so like this lady had showed me pictures the other day of her son that had a motorcycle wreck, and he had like hit his head on a curb, and his skull was just smashed, and it was like, why didn't he have a helmet on? So I don't know. I don't want to get off on that deal. But yeah, if you're doing any of this stuff, man, wear some glasses. Some hearing ear protection. It's a smart thing to do. So I'm going to plug this in. We're going to cut this out. Okay. I also unplug my tools every time I'm done messing with them, even though I might plug them right back in, because I'm really afraid of my daughter or somebody getting a hold of those. And check it out. Now, it's probably not going to fit exactly right. Probably going to have make some adjustments because I cut a little bit on the inside of the line. That way I don't cut too much. But let's see how it fits. I'll probably have to like rough it up a little bit. Yeah, it's a little loose. But yeah, that gives you an idea. I just gotta open it up a little bit more, but right on. So this is the real deal here. Usually when you get any kind of like door or like any kind of anything, it comes in a box and it's sealed up. Well, when you have children, things happen. So I found a cat door with two pieces, a template, and one deal with like the bolts with the caps, you know, that go over the bolts. We don't know where the rest of the hardware is to this. So, all right, so after about 30 minutes of digging through absolutely everything that I have, I don't have any kind of little bolts of that size, so I'm gonna have to stop before I go to work at the hardware store. I just need 3 of them. It's no big deal, man. But it kind of reminded me back when I was a kid. Like, I was lucky enough, like, I grew up in kind of like an area where there was like a salvage. Like, all behind my grandfather's house was a big salvage, man. And the stories I heard, they had some of the raddest like muscle cars come back in the 70s and 80s. Like, it was a cool place to be for a kid. Now, it might have been kind of dangerous, kind of ghetto-ish, but anyways, I was lucky enough to have my neighbor across the street and then my neighbor down the street, William. They were always working on cars, and like one was a mechanic and the other one, like, he worked for a salvage and he would buy cars and they'd crush them and stuff. And I learned so much from him. He's like one of the best people that I've had in my life. But they always had buckets full of bolts. And what I would do is, like, man, I'd be working on something. I didn't have any money to buy anything. I was fortunate enough that those guys would let me go down there and go through that stuff. So I would spend, it seemed like, hours digging through like buckets of bolts, and like, or if like he had some junk cars, because he would save them up and then crush them all, you know. And like, so if I had something, most of the time I could go, they would let me have it, you know what I mean? So being like 13, 14, tinkering with stuff, and then when I started driving, I was lucky enough to have those kind of parts. And also William and them, he's got a big shop down there. I could go down there and work in his shop, and he had all the cool old school kind of tools. and everything. And he was the first one that taught me how to like start a car engine on the floor. Like, and man, my mind was blown after that. We had like 2 wood blocks, a battery, and some gas. And seeing that motor flop around on the floor and start up was just like mind blown, man. So yeah, that was a great experience. But sometimes you have all the bolts you need, sometimes you don't. So it happens. It's not a big deal. I'm glad just the way it goes. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and hang the door back up in the house though, so we can go ahead and get that litter box set up going. And then tomorrow I'll get the bolts tonight, and I'll just bolt. I mean, it's literally bolts right on there. So, but it looks pretty cool. And yeah, that saw did make some noise, but I think we're painting this door a different color anyways. So we kind of change our colors up on different things. So until we get the right one, so it's no big deal. But yeah, that's what it looks like, and I'll take you a little video or picture when I get it done. So, but yeah, I'm thinking about doing another little channel, stuff like that. You know, none of it's perfect. Now, some of the stuff, when people are paying you to do this kind of work, it's got to be perfect. But if you're doing it on your own, you know, you're going to make mistakes. Nothing's going to be perfect. But the main thing is being able to do it, you know, and do your best. So sometimes perfection can be your own worst enemy. Another thing I would suggest too when you're doing this is put some blue masking tape around where you're trimming this out if you don't want to repaint the door, because that saw, as it goes around, that metal is going to make markings on it. So, but the good thing is it isn't like we're not going to repaint this door probably 6 times to get the right color. So we had plans of repainting it anyways. So moving on, I got to go put my bike up because I went on a nice early morning ride. I absolutely love that. Whoa, almost fell off this thing. So that motor home. Had to come over here because I had to drain the water out of the ice chest because I got to load them up and put them in the motor home. Gotta go ahead and get ready. And it's crazy how you go from going out with your friends and having these things full of beer, going to Medicine Stone, going to do other things and just getting absolutely drunk, to stopping that stuff when you have a family. And now we're loading these ice chests full of kids juice for birthday parties and Coke that I don't drink. Pretty awesome deal, man, if I do say so myself. Funny how things change. So yeah, we got to clean up our mess. Got to put that back up. Gonna hang it back up on the wall. Got to clean up my handyman mess I've got going on. Put this table back up. Cool story about this table. We went, and there's this Chinese buffet in Bartlesville, Oklahoma, that is pretty rad, or used to be. So it's when I first bought that black Yukon the first time, before I sold it to my in-laws. And we picked up my good friend Jared, and we went and ate some Chinese food, me and Emily and Jared. Well, upon our return, my wife gives me a hard time because if there's stuff that people have setting out for free, I've got to look at it. Well, it paid off this time. I got this table. This thing probably weighs, I weigh like 150 pounds. I guarantee you this table weighs 150 pounds. This is back when they made stuff to last. And this bad boy, I've had like transmissions, engine blocks sitting on it, a rear axle, and it is stout, man. Like, I guarantee you could put a little Volkswagen Beetle on this table and it would hold it. But yeah, I'm pretty fond of it. I like this table. Yeah, that's the kind of stuff, if I start doing, I sawed right into that bad boy one day. I don't remember how I did it, but I know that wasn't there when I got the table. So, yeah, cool table. But yeah, I gotta get all this crap cleaned up. Put the Ford back in the garage because I'm still a bit lazy on cleaning it out. And I'm actually gonna start cleaning all the windows on it and just blah, blah, blah. So, yeah, making some headway. Every little bit counts. It's kind of just the thing. God, I love this Blazer. Man. When they're just original and they haven't been messed with is what I really, really like. Man, I love that truck. Can't wait to get it fixed too. Oh crap, I hit the track. God, this thing's heavy. Let's slide this in here. Holy moly. Woo. I also forgot too yesterday that, and if any of you guys have ever thrown a child's birthday party, look how solid this cab is, man. Almost zero rot on this Southern New Mexico truck. But anyways, in all the chaos of that birthday party yesterday, I forgot and left the key in the Honda and left it on, so that thing probably set, I don't know, forever, and the battery went dead. So what I'm gonna do is use my trusty jump box here, and I have to give kudos to my wife because she bought that for me on some, I don't know, Amazon deal like 5 years ago, and that has been single-handedly, aside from a car trailer, the best tool that I've ever bought. And so even if you're not big into, I think every person should have one. I don't want to sit that on the plastic. They should have one because, man, you can jump a lawnmower with one of these. And I've got another riding mower that I keep at my grandpa's that has had a battery out of it forever. And I'm not buying any of those batteries because, you know, they sit all winter. I just go over there with the jump box, hook this bad boy on, fire it up, mow the yard, and then I'm done with it. It's kind of hard to do with one hand. Let's see here. Of course it's all tangled up. Okay, let's clip that bad boy on right there. Making some contact. Alright, now we'll set this where it's not going to fall, which is basically going to be every direction I set it. Let's see if the old 4-cylinder will kick off. This has been a fantastic car. If a person can find a 2012, or I think it's 2011 and up, Honda Civic, of course that fell off. I knew it would. You better buy it because these are fantastic automobiles, and I am so proud to have this. Yeah, and of course it fell over. You wouldn't expect it to do anything less. So I will unsnap these, let this run for a little bit, and I'll take it over. Yeah, I'll probably get this unloaded sometime. I need to get these cleaned out and get back in the motorhome, because again, we're going to be going on a little trip, so make sure these are shut. But yeah, man, I've got to do something about this shop because it gets at least 110, 115 degrees in here, and there's absolutely no airflow. So, like, hold on. Oh, yeah. All right, here we go. Send it back in here. Gonna pack it. Let's see here. Good enough. All right. But yeah, if you look up there, I'm thinking about maybe putting a window right in the middle of that like triangle and putting one at each end. That'll get a little bit of airflow up here. And like if I have a screen on it, I might just like in the summertime leave them open. One, I like to have a little bit of natural light, and another, it just needs some airflow. It gets so hot in here that I can't hardly stand it, man. So, but yeah, that's gonna conclude what I got done today. I'll show you all that door tomorrow. And there it is, the finished product. The door fits a little tight, but it's gonna stay open most of the time anyways. I could probably like rub on that with a little bit of sandpaper, but you can see also why I went an inch up. These are hollow core doors, so you don't want to cut it all the way to the bottom. But yeah, good enough. Now the next thing. So now that that's done, I was really thinking about going to this cruise night tomorrow night. It's at 91st and Memorial. So I decided to get my car out. I've got to clean it up. I have not washed this thing since the drag strip video where I took this out to the test and tune. I have not cleaned it or nothing. So I think today these wheels, as much as I love them, they're pretty hard to clean. So I'm gonna pull the beauty rings off, just kind of shine them up a little bit. The great thing about having a car that's not painted and really nice is you don't have to do very much. You just basically wheels, windows, get the dust off of it, man. So yeah, I'm gonna knock this out real quick, get this cleaned up and get it ready for tomorrow. Hopefully it doesn't rain. We're supposed to have some rain, but and if somebody's just tuning in, this is my 69 Chevelle. It's got the LS motor, Tremec 5-speed, 49-inch rear end. I've kind of fixed it up to look like a super sport, but I'm not going to put the badges on it. This is actually a real SS hood, not an aftermarket one. It's a pretty cool car. I like it. I've had it for about 11 years. Pretty rad machine. Excellent cruiser. My best on street tires that I've been with this setup is 1290 at 109 with like a 2.6 60 foot. So it's definitely got more in it, but it's my cruiser, man. I don't plan on putting any sticky tires on it. I don't plan on doing any of that. I'm gonna race it, but I'm just gonna do it in as is condition. So, but yeah, pretty cool car, man. So I'm gonna get this cleaned up. So you gotta be asking yourself, does this seem like a lot of stuff to do in 25 hours? And the question probably is yes. Quite a bit of stuff. But I like to stay busy. So what I'm doing here is every once in a while on these Magnum 500 wheels, I got to remove the rings, scrub and clean those white letters, and try to get it shined back up. The beauty of this car's not that nice, so really all I got to do is wash the wheels, shine the tires up, wash the windows, maybe run a vacuum in it. It's ready to roll. So I probably one day will paint it, but not today, not tomorrow, maybe not in the next few years. But I'm enjoying it. It's running, it works, and I have plenty of other stuff to do. So, and also our dryer has died, so before I go to work this evening, I will be heading to Hans to pick up a brand new one. So yeah, as if I needed any more to do, but we can handle it. But yeah, we'll get this thing cleaned up, get it put back up, and get ready for work. There you have it. that's all I've got for this weekend. It's been kind of it's been eventful, but it's not been very eventful for the car stuff. But yeah, motorhome, I got to do the lights. We got to go put some blocks on it. Figure out a way to raise the rear end up so it doesn't rub on stuff. That's about all I got right now. Like I said, I had to get a lot of stuff done in the house. Most of all that stuff is done now. So after I get back from this little trip, it's going to be time to start cracking on some cars. So yeah, definitely that's number one on the list. We can get that up and running, get it where it moves. I need to get the transmission out of that, get it rebuilt. We got to put the big block back in the blue and white Chevy. Remember, it's got a bad freeze plug, but I'm also going to do some seals and stuff in it. That truck needs a little to nothing to be on the road. I'm trying to think of what else. The Ford's going to be up for sale here pretty soon, so if you're interested in that, message me. I'm just going to basically, unless somebody hits me up about it, I'm sending it straight to an auction, online auction. So you'll definitely see that coming up. I really just, aside from some cleanup, it's a good running driving truck. I've been driving it. Works good. Like I said, it's got lockers in it. It's got to be all new front end, new ball joints. The engine, I've tore it down and done gaskets and a timing chain. It's got electric fuel pump, brand new heater system underneath the dash, so it's got a great heater and it's all correct. It's not a bunch of cobbled up mess. It just needs some more love, but it needs more than what I can do right now. And if I didn't have so many projects, I would keep it, but I got other projects I like better, so it's got to go. So, man, if you like any of the stuff I'm doing, hit the like button, subscribe. That way I can keep making these. I mean, I'm gonna make them anyways, but it makes it easier once the people gets, things get moving on that. Because I really enjoy doing this. It's pretty fun. So, yeah, that's all I got for right now. So you'll definitely see a video because we've got this weekend, which I have a dance recital that's going to tie up most of the weekend, and then we're leaving either next Wednesday or Thursday. So yeah, got a lot to do. Always last minute. So thanks for watching. I really appreciate it.